Ladies and gentlemen, there's a secret that the world's top performers, leaders, and visionaries have quietly followed, a secret that reshapes lives, redefines mindsets, and rewrites destiny. That secret is this: act like you're already successful. Before success becomes a reality, it first must become a mindset. You don't wait for the applause, the title, or the millions. You walk, talk, and think with the energy of the person you aim to become. Success isn't just about what you have, it's about how you carry yourself through struggle, failure, and challenge. Think about it. Would the most successful version of yourself procrastinate today? Would they give up after one rejection? Or would they wake up early, stay consistent, speak with confidence, and lead with vision? When you act like you've already won, when you dress for the future you believe in, make decisions with courage, and speak your goals with conviction, the universe begins to align with your energy. People treat you differently. Opportunities start appearing. You become magnetic. Acting successful doesn't mean pretending. It means preparing. It means putting in the work as if the rewards have already been promised. Because they are. If you're willing to believe in your potential and behave like it's already real, the results will follow. So don't wait for permission. Don't wait for proof. Become the future version of yourself today. Walk like them, work like them, think like them, and eventually you'll be them. Before any external success can manifest, it must first take root in your mind. This is the foundational truth behind every great achievement. The most successful people in the world weren't waiting around for the results to start thinking like winners. They became winners in their thoughts, decisions, and behaviors long before any recognition came their way. Success isn't just about goals or outcomes, it's about identity. How you see yourself determines how you act. If you view yourself as average, unsure, or not ready, your actions will reflect that hesitation. But if you start to adopt the identity of someone who is capable, driven, and already on their path to greatness, your decisions will become bolder, more focused, and aligned with the future you're building. Your mindset shapes your daily experience. When you wake up believing that you're already on the path to success, you approach tasks with purpose. You make choices with clarity. You speak with confidence. And perhaps most importantly, you endure setbacks with resilience, because you don't see them as defining, you see them as stepping stones. Everything starts in the mind, your vision, your energy, your confidence, your habits. If you wait to feel successful only after reaching some milestone, a certain income, a job title, a number of followers, then you'll always be chasing. But when you decide that success is a way of thinking and being, you can step into it today. Train your brain to focus on growth. Eliminate self-doubt like clutter. Choose to believe in possibilities, not limitations. Successful people don't wait until they make it to act successful. They act successful first, and that mindset becomes the very engine that drives the results. The energy you bring into a room, into a conversation, a project, or even your daily routine determines far more than most people realize. It's not just about what you do, it's about how you do it. Your energy is your personal signature. It speaks before your words do, and it lingers long after you've walked away. Think about the last time you met someone who was confident, calm, and purposeful. You probably felt drawn to them, trusted them, and maybe even felt inspired. That's the power of energy. On the flip side, someone could be incredibly skilled but have nervous, scattered, or self-defeating energy, and they'll often be overlooked, doubted, or dismissed. When you act like you're already successful, your energy shifts completely. You walk with a sense of certainty. You speak without needing validation. You move through challenges with calm focus instead of panic. And this powerful energy affects everything: your relationships, your career opportunities, your self-image, and even your physical presence. People respond to energy more than they respond to titles, resumes, or social status. In fact, most opportunities come not from what you know, but from how people feel around you. That feeling is shaped by the energy you radiate. If you show up with scarcity, fear, or insecurity, those feelings ripple outward. But if you show up with quiet confidence, presence, and enthusiasm, people will sense it and want to align with you. Successful people understand this. They intentionally cultivate the kind of energy they want to live in. They guard their mindset, fuel their spirit, and prepare themselves mentally before entering important spaces. They know that their energy can open doors, create trust, and attract abundance in ways that words and strategies alone never could. Energy isn't invisible, it's unforgettable. And when you act like the successful version of yourself, your energy begins to reflect that identity. You walk into every space as if you belong, and slowly, the world begins to agree. Every great transformation begins with a vision not just of the life you want, but of the person you need to become to live that life. Visualization is not daydreaming, it's mental training. It's the ability to create a detailed image of your future self, the confident, successful, and fulfilled version of you, and then use that image as a blueprint for your behavior today. Close your eyes and picture it clearly. What does the successful version of you look like? How do you dress? How do you speak in meetings or social settings? What kind of decisions do you make, risky or calculated? Are you someone who shows up early and gives 100%, or someone who only moves when pushed? Get specific, down to your tone of voice, posture, habits, and morning routine. Now, understand this, that version of you is not a fantasy. It's a preview, a glimpse into who you could be if your actions aligned with your vision. The mistake most people make is thinking they have to wait until they arrive at success before acting like it. But success isn't a destination. It's an identity you begin to embody now through choices, mindset, and behavior. When you embody your future self, you stop making excuses. You start showing up with purpose. You surround yourself with people who match the energy you're aiming for, not those who drag you back to old patterns. You treat your time like it matters. You speak your goals with conviction, even if others don't understand them yet. This shift in identity also builds unshakable confidence. Why? Because you're no longer hoping to become someone else, you're living like that person now. Every decision becomes easier. Would the future me skip this workout? Would the successful me stay silent in this room? Would the version of me I admire accept this low standard? These questions become powerful filters, aligning your behavior with your vision. Visualization, when combined with embodiment, becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. It sends a powerful message to your subconscious mind and to the world. I already believe in who I am becoming. And when you believe it deeply enough, the gap between who you are and who you're meant to be begins to close. Success doesn't come from occasional effort, it comes from consistent commitment to a vision, even when progress feels invisible. If you want to become someone you've never been before, you have to start doing things you've never consistently done before. It's not one powerful day that defines your success. It's what you do daily that shapes your identity and your destiny. Consistency is the silent architect of transformation. Every time you show up, whether it's for your goals, your values, or your standards, you're casting a vote for the kind of person you're becoming. And each of those votes adds up. Small habits, repeated consistently, build a life that looks radically different 1 year down the road, even if it doesn't feel that way in the moment. Think of any successful person you admire. What sets them apart isn't just raw talent or opportunity, it's their ability to show up again and again, even on the days they don't feel like it. They write when the ideas aren't flowing. They practice when no one is watching. They learn when it's uncomfortable. They fail, adapt, and keep going. That's consistency. And that's where true confidence is born, not in perfection, but in knowing you can rely on yourself to keep showing up. But here's the deeper truth. Consistency also shapes your self-image. The more you act in alignment with your goals, even in the smallest ways, the more you start to see yourself as someone who deserves success. This identity shift is powerful. It doesn't come from reading affirmations. It comes from proving to yourself, day after day, that you are disciplined, that you are resilient, and that you are capable of growth. Consistency isn't always exciting. It's often repetitive, boring, and quiet. That's why most people stop. They look for motivation instead of building momentum. But motivation is a feeling, it's fleeting. Consistency is a decision, it's reliable. And when you commit to it, even imperfectly, you start to build something far more powerful than external success. You build an unshakable internal standard. You start to believe in yourself not because of what others say, but because of the evidence of your own effort. Every action you take or choose not to take is a reflection of what you truly believe about yourself. You may say you want to be successful, but the real evidence is in your behavior. Because people don't act according to what they wish they believed. They act according to what they actually believe at the deepest level. That's why your behavior is one of the most powerful signals, not just to the world, but to your own subconscious mind of yourself, worth, confidence, and expectations. When you behave like someone who is already successful, you are affirming your belief in your vision. You're declaring, through your actions, that you are worthy of the goals you're chasing. It's one thing to talk about becoming a leader, an entrepreneur, a creator, or an innovator. It's another thing entirely to start living with the discipline, mindset, and energy that those roles require long before anyone else recognizes it. Successful people don't just have belief, they behave as if that belief is already reality. They show up early. They invest in learning. They speak with clarity. They take responsibility. They stretch themselves in uncomfortable moments, not because they're pretending, but because they know the behavior of belief is what pulls their future closer. And just as behavior reflects belief, belief is also reinforced by behavior. Every time you follow through, even in a small way, you're telling your brain, "This is who I am now." Each time you choose the high standard, push through resistance, or take action despite fear, your inner voice starts to shift. It goes from, "I hope I can do this," to "I'm the kind of person who does this." That's how confidence is built, not from hype, but from history, from the track record you build through repeated action. Even when no one is watching, your behavior is shaping your identity. In fact, it's in those unseen moments that belief is most deeply rooted. Do you hold yourself accountable when it would be easy not to? Do you maintain discipline when there's no immediate reward? These choices might seem small, but they're the invisible threads that connect your current self to your future self. They are the internal proof that you're becoming someone who doesn't just want success, you believe you are meant for it. Success doesn't come to those who wait, it comes to those who move. One of the most powerful truths you'll ever realize is that action creates momentum, and momentum attracts people, attention, and unexpected breakthroughs. While many sit back, overanalyze, and wait for the perfect moment, those who act create their own luck. They step into motion, and that motion becomes magnetic. When you act like you're already successful, you begin to make decisions from a place of confidence rather than doubt. You speak with intention. You pursue goals with energy. You treat your time like it matters, and all of that activity signals something powerful, not just to yourself, but to the people around you. It says, "I take myself seriously." And when you take yourself seriously, others start to do the same. Opportunities are not always given. Often, they are noticed by those already moving. Think about it. When someone sees you creating content, building your craft, showing up consistently, and delivering value without being asked, they start to believe in your potential. Not because you said you had it, but because you proved it. You showed them through action. People with influence, capital, and platforms are always looking for those who are already in motion. They want to invest in people who invest in themselves. They're not looking for ideas, they're looking for execution. They're not impressed by potential, they're drawn to progress. Your action becomes your business card. Your momentum becomes your introduction. Your work ethic becomes your endorsement. But there's more. Action doesn't just attract external opportunities, it also awakens internal ones. The more you do, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more clarity you gain. And that clarity often leads to new paths, fresh ideas, and higher quality decisions. You become sharper, more self-aware, more skilled, all because you chose to move rather than wait. Waiting often feels safe, but it's also stagnant. Action might feel risky, but it opens doors that would have never appeared otherwise. You might stumble, yes. You might fail. But every step forward teaches you something, and sometimes, one bold move is all it takes to cross paths with the right person, the right moment, or the right opportunity that can change everything. One of the greatest illusions in the world of success is that recognition comes first, that people will see your potential, applaud your talents, and then open doors for you. But in reality, recognition is rarely the starting point. It's the reward that follows quiet, consistent, and often invisible preparation. Those who rise to prominence are almost always the ones who were preparing long before anyone noticed. Behind every overnight success is a long trail of early mornings, silent practice, and battles fought in private. These moments don't trend on social media. No applause echoes through an empty room at 5 a.m. when someone is learning, failing, and trying again. But that's where the real story is written, in the unseen hours, when no one is watching, and yet you still show up, because you believe something great is coming. Preparation isn't just about skill building. It's about developing the character needed to handle the weight of success. It's about refining your focus, training your resilience, sharpening your discipline, and grounding yourself in values that won't be shaken when things finally start to work. Because when the opportunity arrives, and it won't come with time to prepare. It will ask, "Are you ready?" And your preparation will answer on your behalf. Many people wait to be noticed before they begin. They wait for the job title before leading, the audience before creating, the platform before speaking. But leaders, creators, and achievers don't wait. They become before they're seen. They understand that the spotlight is not a starting point, it's a magnifier. It doesn't create your value. It reveals what's already been built in the dark. When you act like you're already successful, you're not faking anything, you're preparing. You're stepping into a version of yourself that's aligned with future demands. You're developing the mindset, habits, language, and decision-making that your future life will require. You're practicing the posture of someone who is capable, focused, and valuable, so when opportunity comes knocking, it feels like a natural next step rather than a miracle.